Welcome. I'm Robert Monroe, Superintendent for Utica Community Schools. I am pleased to welcome you to this Secondary Specialty Program informational event for the Jean L. Clyda Utica Academy for International Studies, our district's international baccalaureate program. At Utica Community Schools, our 4 specialty programs speak to the very heart of our mission to provide all students with an opportunity that creates success in their post-secondary education and beyond. Coupled with the extensive offerings at our comprehensive high schools, the specialty programs support our goal to give students an opportunity to explore their personal interests and talents. No matter where their dreams will take them, our caring and talented staff provide UCS students the foundation and spark that continues to open doors for their future. During this event, you will hear directly from the program coordinator and meet the teachers who instruct the program. Additionally, you will have an opportunity to ask questions and chat live with the staff. As always, whatever decision you make for high school, you can trust that we will be there to guide and support you. We want every student to have meaningful experiences these next 4 years with positive memories that last for a lifetime.
Hello, my name is Chris Layson. I am the IB Diploma Programme Coordinator at the Utica Academy for International Studies. Thank you so much for joining us for our virtual event this evening to learn more about the IB program at UAIS. I would encourage you to please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I think that will give you a really nice idea of what life is like after the pandemic and what it was like before the pandemic. You're going to be able to see a lot of the various activities that our students do and can get really a sense of what everyday life is here at UAIS. Our normal agenda would be that you would come into the program tonight. You would see about a 45-minute session, which we're going to reproduce now. And then there would be a variety of places you could go. You could go learn about internationalism and UAIS foreign languages. You could go through all the classrooms, meet the students, and then you could also meet with our IB counselor to learn about the IB College Advantage. Unfortunately, we are not able to do that this year, so we are going to try to replicate that experience as close to possible. I'm going to go through, have a conversation about the program in general, and then it will be followed up by the IB College Advantage presentation with our incredible college counselor, Sue Fitzsimonds. And then from there, you're going to be able to go around and learn about each of the individual subjects from the teachers and the students. We will have a session on internationalism by Madame Blaine and Senora Burak. There will be a link in the description and also a club fair that is going to be put on by the student leaders, and that is going to also be in the link of the description. So please also see any links for any documents that I refer to throughout the presentation because you can go through those on your own. What is UAIS? UAIS opened in 2008. Our first graduating class was in 2012. UAIS is part of the IBO, International Baccalaureate Organization, and we are a certified International Baccalaureate World School. I would encourage you to go to ibo.org to learn more about the worldwide corporation and organization that is IBO that exists in over 150 countries. Most people get confused with what is IB versus UAIS. UAIS is the name of the school. That we are the Jean L. Clyda Utica Academy for International Studies, just like you may have heard other programs that are similar called IA Macomb or IA Bloomfield or things like that. That is the name of the school. We all offer the International Baccalaureate Program, which exists during the 11th and 12th grade years. During the 9th and 10th grade years, we are doing pre-IB work to level the students, to bring everyone up together, and to prepare them for what is the IB program, which is the 2-year experience during the junior and senior year. We have been recognized by the Washington Post and the J. Matthews Challenge Index as the #1 most challenging high school in the state of Michigan for the last 8 years. We have held a #2 ranking in the Midwest, and we are currently ranked number 83 in the nation. To talk a little more about that, not too awful long ago, Channel 4 came out and did a small piece, and I'd like to share that with you now.
Thanks, Jeff. Among 35 countries, students here in the United States rank 14th in reading and 17th in science and 25th in math.
All this week, NBC's Education Nation Summit is focusing on how to prepare a youth for this global economy. Rhonda Walker found the answer inside Utica Community Schools.
The high school students at the Utica Academy for International Studies are learning in a full immersion international baccalaureate curriculum, also known as the IB Diploma Program. Not many people have heard of it, but the level of education is known to be the best there is globally. Having a full IB diploma program in a public school district is rare. There's only a handful in Metro Detroit. Tom Leese, the program director, helped bring it to Utica schools 5 years ago.
I went to Utica Community Schools, very blue collar. My mom was a bus driver for the district. I would not have had access to a Cranbrook or Detroit Country Day who had this program.
Private school caliber education where parents pay over $25,000 a year. Only here, it's public and free.
I think it's a blessing. I really do. And the academic rigor is amazing.
What do you think molarity is?
Highly trained teachers and kids whose tests are graded globally.
We sent exams out to over 20 countries last year to have them evaluated.
In the classroom, no desks, rather table style and groups, while the teacher is often in the background.
Of course, the teacher is always there for you, guiding you, prompting you with more and more questions. But when you're reading and you're analyzing and you have a question, you go to your peers first.
You like it here and you like your friends, and it's a lot of fun.
We foster that family environment.
400 kids here total, accepting 100 incoming ninth graders per year. There's also a huge emphasis on community service and personal growth.
Becoming a communicator and reflective, principled and caring, this school has not only taught me how I learn the best, but how to be a better person.
From Utica, Rhonda Walker, Local 4.
Boy, is that one.
While that news clip was a little bit older, I still think it gives some good insights in how the program runs, how the faculty and the students interact, and we get a little bit of that family feel from that video. I just want to let you know that a lot of students get nervous when they hear about the rigor, the challenge, the ratings, the rankings about the school. And I just want to let everybody know we do not expect students to be able to perform at the IB level when they walk in the doors. That is why we have 2 years to learn about the students, learn about strengths, weaknesses, and build them up to get ready for that pre-university diploma program that they will experience in the 11th and 12th grade. One thing unique to our program that really you're not going to find it anywhere else in Utica Community Schools is that we use the international housing system. If there's any Harry Potter fans out there, you know that J.K. Rowling had a system at Hogwarts where kids would go in and they would get sorted. That is not something she made up. That is something that international schools use to build family feel and mentorship at their schools, and we do the same. When freshmen come into our program, they will be sorted on the first week of school into one of our 6 houses. We are all the Order of the Phoenix. That is our logo, but then there are the individual houses. This is our academic mentoring for educational success program. What happens is every teacher in our school has 20 students, 5 freshmen, 5 sophomores, 5 juniors, and 5 seniors that teacher will take care of and sort of usher through the program for their 4 years. You stay with the same teacher for 4 years within your house. They meet with you once a month, make sure everything's going well with school, see if there's any areas that you need help with. But then the neat part about that is the natural mentoring happens between the older kids in your house, that 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, and they help the 9th graders move through the program. So there's no rivalries between different grades here because we're all on the same team and we're all going for the same goal. As your student will rise through the ranks and grades, they will turn around and they will do some of that mentorship with younger students. So that is how we utilize the program. That's how we make a small program even smaller, and everybody does feel like the program is individualized and tailored to them. I do want to talk about what the IBO curriculum is because it is different than the Michigan Merit that you will get at your comprehensive high school or any of the other secondary specialty programs. To be an IB full diploma candidate, you are going to do what's called a liberal arts curriculum, which means you're going to be good at everything across the board. You're going to take English. You're going to take 4 years of an acquired language that you will be able to utilize upon graduation. You will do a series of individual and societies classes, which is more traditionally known as social studies. You will have lots of opportunities for science, mathematics, and then for the first 2 years, we do require all students to take an art. The arts that we offer are choir, band, theater, or visual arts. And then after 2 years, you can replace that and double up in maybe a science or a math or another language, something along those lines. In addition to those classes, you are going to also experience what is known as the IB Core. These are the theory of knowledge, the extended essay, and the creativity, activity, and service. There is a link that will take you to a document that explains all this in depth, but very, very quickly. We actually have a class during junior and senior year that focuses on critical thinking. And the basic idea is that you learn to use everything from around the curriculum to your benefit. So we work on problem solving a ton in the program. You will be presented with a problem, and you will need to know how a historian might have background on this problem, how a mathematician or a scientist might address that problem, how an artist might represent that problem. So you become someone who is really able to address a problem from all sides. We also have the extended essay. I will say that this is probably the part that scares 8th graders the most. By the time you graduate, over a 1-year period between your junior and senior year, you will write, with the help of an individual teacher who specializes in that area, a 16 to 20 page paper, which comes out to about 4,000 words of original research. If you talk to Stanford, who we're going to hear from here in a little bit, or any other school, college, they really say the extended essay is what sets our kids apart, because IB students know how to write, they know how to research, they know how to do this independently. So when our kids go to a freshman class in college and they're expected to write maybe a 2 or 3 page paper, a lot of other students are having issues with that. Our students are usually done with that before they walk out of the class. So that is really something that we pride ourselves on, and it isn't something to be afraid of, but rather something that you are going to write on, something that you are passionate about and that you really want to dig deep into. In addition to that, we are going to talk about creativity, activity, and service later, but I just wanted you to know that we place a heavy emphasis on giving back to our communities, taking what we've learned in the classroom and taking that out into the communities. We're not just interested in developing bookworms, but we want people that know how to interact with their communities. And our students perform 150 hours of creativity, activity, and service during their junior and senior years and do really some incredible things there. Let's talk a little bit about the UAIS school day experience and what that looks like. We are on block scheduling. I'm thrilled that I don't have to tell this group what block scheduling is. You're already starting to experience this. We do 4 classes on an A day and 4 classes on a B day. The reason why we use block scheduling here is because the intensity of the work, we want you to be able to go home and focus on 4 of your classes at a time rather than what would be 8. The best part about block scheduling is, as you probably know, if you get to something that you're not clear about, maybe something that's bothering you as far as a homework assignment, you have an entire other day to seek help from your peers first, or go talk to that faculty member, and they will help you through that process, all right? If you do the math, you graduate with 32 credits. 8 classes a year times 4 years is 32 credits. Anywhere else in the district, you are graduating with 24. We're going to talk a little bit later about how you distinguish yourself through the application process of going through colleges. When you have over an extra year of courses at an IB and AP level going through UAIS, you certainly distinguish yourself to college admissions advisors, all right? You will be able to take 5 to 9 full year courses of sciences, whether that be biochem, computer science, or physics. I think when people hear liberal arts, they think we're a humanities program. We're not. You're going to be able to focus on whatever you need to do. Over 65% of our kids in a recent survey plan on going into biomedical sciences. But if you want to go into any area, that's the nice part about the IB program, because you're going to be able to tailor your IB program to what you want to do later. And you don't necessarily have to decide that as a 9th or 10th grader. That's a decision we make when you get to 11th grade. We also have an incredibly rigorous IB maths program. It's going to be very different than the traditional math you would get in the United States, where everything is siloed into different areas like algebra or geometry or calculus. This actually ask you to incorporate all of those ideas so that you are actually able to apply those to real world. And Ms. McNair is going to talk about that later in the math section. You will all do 4 years of intense language study. We do start everybody back at level 1, even if you are currently in a French 1 or a Japanese 1. We start everybody at level 1. And the reason for that is because we do accelerate through foreign language at a speed that is really about 2 books a year for what you're normally doing at maybe the junior high level. So we want to make sure that everybody has that base. If you're already taking a language 1, that is great. You're going to have a little bit of a head start in those languages, but we are really going to amplify that curriculum as we go through. UAIS schedule is focused and in depth as opposed to maybe an AP philosophy. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the differences between IB and AP here in a little bit. Like I said, you're graduating with 32 credits instead of 24. So if you look maybe at UCS comprehensive schools, MST, CSI, I should have put MAID on here as well. You can definitely go through this slide and look at the differences and how much more, many more credits you're going to get as you move through the program. I'd like to show you what a sample 9th grade schedule looks like. Anything that you see on this screen that's in black, that is going to be a required 9th grade course. If it's in blue, that means it's an election that you will make based on your preference. So this particular student on an A day has their 4 classes being Spanish, theater, physics, and geometry. That Spanish could be French or Japanese. That theater could be visual arts, instrumental music, or vocal music. Then everybody's going to take physics at a pre-calculus physics level. It is not physical science. And then depending on where you are coming in with math, that geometry could either be starting with Algebra 2 or could be starting with AP Statistics. I'll go more into that on some subsequent slides. Then on the B day, these are going to be standard across the board. Every student's going to be in an international studies course, which is basically talking about everything that's happening in the world at this time. Kids love it, and it really brings students up to speed with what's happening in the world. Every student will be doing a speech and production team class, which I'll talk more about in a moment, honors in English 9. And then every student also takes a history of world civilization, which is building them up to AP world history that they will take in a. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk you through what the curriculum looks like for 9th graders all the way through senior year. What I'd like you to pay particular attention to is that during the 11th and 12th grade year, there are things called HL, which is higher level, and SL, which is standard level. Both of these are incredibly rigorous. Both of them exceed what is expected in an AP course, and you can take exams at the end of your senior year in both of those areas to gain college credit. I'll speak more about the college credit piece here in a little bit, but I want you to understand that you can really personalize your program. So if you want to be an engineer or a scientist or a doctor or something like that, you're going to be able to take a couple different sciences and a very high level of math. If you're going into maybe law, maybe this is where you take a foreign language, English and history, or psychology, something like that. So you're going to really, at the 11th and 12th grade year, be able to tailor your program to what your particular needs are. So in group 1, which is English, you will be in accelerated or IB English for all 4 years. Same in our language of acquisition. You stay in the same language for all 4 years. So we continue to build on that. By the time our students are seniors, they're actually performing Socratic circles in a foreign language, and they are writing extended essays in a foreign language. Group 3, we are heavy on individuals and societies during that 9th grade year. You will be taking that 9th grade history of world civilizations and international studies. You can see how internationalism really plays into our curriculum at a base level as students come in. All students will take AP world history as 10th grade. And then if they choose to stay in their group 3 history, that is fine, or they can elect to go over to HL or SL psychology. As we move towards laboratory sciences, everybody will do 9th grade as physics, and then 10th grade is our heavy science year, so that students are able to experience biology and chemistry, and then they can go into 1 or 2 of these IB options, either bio, chem, computer science, or physics. Going to be a little bit in the way here, but you'll see this is where it explains where you come in either with Algebra 1, Geometry, or Algebra 2, and it has the progressions of where you would like to work through in your mathematics. I will say with mathematics, we offer what we feel is equivalent to or higher level mathematics of anywhere else in the district. This is for our arts. I said in group 6 earlier, you are required to stay in one of these for your 9th and 10th grade year. You can certainly continue that during your 11th and 12th grade year if you do have a passion for the arts, or you can replace that with any of these other areas that might suit your future plans better. Then here are special classes that you find nowhere else in the district, and really colleges love to see this, is during the 9th and 10th grade year, you're going to be in something called production teams. This is where you're learning how to work in teams, how to utilize the full O365 suite, and do all types of presentations. It's key. And sort of what I hear a lot of students coming into the program is that they don't love group work, because with group work, some of our students that come here, they are the ones that are having to shoulder the load in their group projects during junior high and even elementary school. Well, when you get a bunch of students that self-select into a program and you put them in a group to produce something, you can see how that bar is really raised and everybody pulls their weight. And it's wonderful to see the end products of group work and presentation of what it can be here at the IB program. And then in the junior and senior year, that is where you're going to take that TOK class, which is that critical thinking, problem solving class. Additionally, they will also do their extended essay and their creativity, activity, and service, but those are non-classroom requirements. Those have to be handled on their own with the guide of a teacher. We do have electives. So with electives, during the junior and senior year, there is going to be a spot or two where students could even take another course. Again, this is the nice part about having 32 credits upon graduation, is you are able to stay here and get a lot more classes in, and that really rounds you out on your college application. This is, like I said, this is a full day program. One of the advantages is you're not on a bus halfway every day headed back and forth, which some other programs do. It's not a slight on any other programs. It's just how they're set up. But that is why we're able to tackle more of a curricular load here at UAIS. I'd like to talk right now about the IB Learner Profile. These are 10 traits that all IB students anywhere in the world try to work on as they move through the program. There isn't anyone here, staff or student, that is perfect in all of these areas, but these are the areas that we reflect on constantly as we move through. We have student development days to focus on these areas, and we're trying to round ourselves out and be better citizens by improving in all of these areas. We also have an honor code here. When you walk down our main hallway, there's a large sign that says UAIS students will not lie, cheat, steal, or tolerate those who do. We take that very seriously. We believe in failure. We believe in the power of failure in this program. One thing that's very different is that we really work towards mastery. If you don't do well on an assignment or a test or a quiz, we look at that as a starting point, not an end point. We know as teachers then what we need to do to go back and help you progress through that material. It helps you focus on it. That's why we're so against cheating, because if you're artificially inflating your scores, we don't know what you don't know, and we can't help you. So that is something that our students take very, very seriously here. And they know that when they have a setback, that is not going to permanently affect their grade, and they're going to have a chance to redo an assignment in order to show that they do know the material. As we move through the program, again, we really do look at these 10 learner profile traits that all students are working on. We recognize our students who have made strides or exemplify each of these areas. We have some wonderful posters that are created by the students, and this is a nice recognition of students that excel in those areas. Obviously, if anybody asks me what UAIS does best, I would say that we prepare students for anything that they're going to see in college. I'm not just talking to you as a coordinator. I had a student graduate last year from the program, earned the IB diploma. He started as a sophomore up at Alma College, which when we talk about college savings here in a little bit, that's a private school. That's $55,000 a year. And that is before other scholarships kick in. So we're really happy to see that. And I think I can give a better view of how students move through the program. Also being a parent, I also have a junior in the program. But I think that people are shocked by these stats right here. For every 100 ninth graders in the U.S., 69% graduate from high school, 42% enter college, 28 return for college for their sophomore year, and only 13% of students earn a bachelor's degree within 4 years. I will tell you that our admissions rep, they love our school because our students come in and they retain for those 4 years. I'd like to show you this short video of what the Stanford admission rep has to say about the IB program.
As a parent thinking about having my child attend an IB program, I do remember worrying about the rigor and was it going to be worth it? And I think in so many ways it has been. I think the changes I saw in my own child going through the IB program were primarily recognizing that he could do things that he never thought he could do. It expanded his way of thinking. It encouraged our entire family to travel more than we would have otherwise. His linguistic skills were really honed. And all of those things have come into play later on. So in ways that you don't necessarily expect, I think a parent can actually watch your child grow and expand in these many different ways that the IB promotes. Selective institutions, highly selective institutions like Stanford, perceive IB students as strongly prepared, capable, ready to take on the challenges of the curriculum that we offer. Our schools tend to have a higher expectation for students coming in just because the nature of our student bodies are highly prepared. And IB students are among those who are ready to tackle whatever it is we can offer them in the very beginning. When we see an IB student's application, we light up. We are excited. We're looking to see how a student has taken on the IB. It's so individualized when you really get down to it. Many projects are self-initiated. Research is done based on things that they really care about. And that's an unusual opportunity for students in high school. And I think if they can portray that on their applications, it makes them sound more lively. It shows us what's going on inside their heads. It gives us a sense of their initiative. The IB definitely has research, and institutions have done it as well, to show that there is a higher success rate of IB students in the first year or two of college.
So that's a great video from a college perspective and what they perceive as IB students on their application. Just to give you a quick rundown of our class of 2019, it was 97 students and they were offered over $12.3 million in scholarship offers. The average GPA was a 4.01. The ACT average is a 29.5 and the SAT average is a 1282, which you can see how those compare with the state and district averages. You can certainly see the list of acceptances that are quite impressive on this page. I would encourage you to learn more about our college profile. This is going to be one of the links in the description that takes you through what colleges see. And there's some more pages, but these are two that I wanted to focus on. This gives the background. This tells colleges what all our students do. And then here you can see all of our past acceptances and matriculations of our students. And actually, I'm starting to run out of room, but there are some very impressive schools on here. If you are looking to go into a highly selective school, the IB program is great, and we'll talk more about how that increases your chances. We have had acceptances at all 8 Ivy League schools. This is what some colleges say about the IB program. Number one, you can see from Harvard, their admissions rep says that IB is well known as excellent preparation, and this is what we have seen as well because we have 2 current students at Harvard, going through the program, and a couple alumni there as well. But the IB program correlates success at Harvard. So if you are in a program that Harvard recognizes as this is preparing you for what you can do when you get there, it's really impressive. You will see that Princeton also says the same thing. We have a student at Princeton right now that we are a first-rate program. You can see Duke University, where we've had several students go, and we have one there attending there now. But just know that the quality of IB courses and the curriculum is terrific, and that will be echoed here at the bottom by University of Texas at Austin. So I know some of you like the anecdotes, and then others like the numbers. Well, here are some numbers. If you look at some of these, would be considered, again, as highly selective schools, you can see what the IB acceptance rate is versus the total population. And here in the yellow, you can absolutely see the percentage chance that you are increasing your opportunity to be accepted by going through an IB program. You can look at places like Cornell, Duke, UPenn. If you're able to raise your chances by 10%, that's pretty darn impressive. But then you get down to here to see some other highly selectives that maybe not in that Ivy League, but UCLA, University of Virginia, and UNC Chapel Hill, you're raising your chances by 25 to 35% by going through the program. Here as well, you'll see some other schools that maybe you might be interested in, but I'd like to draw your attention down here to the University of Michigan at Ann Arbor. Students that go through an IB program, they increase their chances of getting into U of M by 20%. I know that a lot of students who are very serious about academics at least have U of M Ann Arbor on their list of schools. I can tell you that we have a great relationship with our U of M admissions rep, and she has told us that when she gets her pile of applications, she takes the IB applications and puts them in the first pile. Then anybody who takes maybe an individual IB or an AP course, and that's in a second pile, and those without those types of rigorous curriculums go into a third pile. So I think if you are very serious about wanting maybe to distinguish yourself and get in that first pile, UAIS is an incredible option. So let's talk a little bit about IB versus AP. There's lots of articles you can go and read about this, but the big thing is, and I love AP, and I work for AP and have taught AP World History for years and years. It's a great course, but it does rush, and it does not have the depth of IB courses that are 2 years long, all right? In addition to just the one end-of-year assessment that you see at an AP level, you also have various large projects on the IB side that really amplify and show a synthesis of learning. So you can see those things at the bottom, where on the AP side, you've got a multiple choice and you've got some free response questions on one morning or one afternoon in May. But on the IB side, you can see that in addition to your papers that you will write in May, you have presentations, projects, individual oral conversations in your native and your foreign language, portfolios, tests, performances, essays, lab reports. Those are all things that go towards your final grade. So you can see it's quite a bit more comprehensive that goes in. If you go to any college that you're interested in, they will have something called AP and IB equivalency pages, all right? That is where, depending on how you score at the end of year or end of course assessment, it will tell you how many credits you will get once you go into the program, all right? You will see that if you get a top score on an IB HL exam at the University of Michigan in the areas of English, physics, math, or psychology, I tried to get sort of a broad range there, you actually can earn twice as many credits than you would going through an AP class at a comprehensive school. U of M, if you in your HL pass your HL exam in foreign language and you go into engineering, they will award you a minor in foreign language before you even step on campus. So that's quite impressive to see how U of M regards the IB foreign language program. You are going to fill out applications. If it is the common application, which if you have older students going through, you know about this, there is a specific question on the Common App that asks, is this student an IB diploma candidate? You're going to be able to check yes on that by going through the program. This is also something that counselors have to check off, which is based on what other kids are doing in the school, how demanding is their curriculum? You will see that our students, all who go through this program, reach the most demanding level. As far as UAIS extracurriculars, it's absolutely incredible. I was just looking at this, and I think it might be a little outdated because I think we have over 40 clubs and committees and student groups now. This gives you a great opportunity for leadership. Colleges don't want to see that you're part of 10 to 15 groups. They want to see 2 to 3 that you're really making a difference in, holding executive board positions, and are passionate about, okay? So when you are competing with 400 kids instead of 2,500 kids at a comprehensive school for those types of situations, your leadership is really going to be amplified. You can see here at the top, we have one of the best debate teams in the state. We won the state championship again this year. We've won it 5 times this decade. So quite impressive. A lot of students come in, they never think about doing debate, but it is certainly something that helps you in all different realms. Because we're in an international school, our teachers love to take students on non-school sponsored trips all over the world. I'm taking a group on a World War II trip, either this summer or next summer, depending what happens with the pandemic, that goes from England to France to Germany to Austria. Here's a couple pictures of students that I've taken to China, France. We take them to Latin America to work on their language skills, and really anywhere in the world that students want to go, you will have those opportunities. Regardless if it's IB, MST, CSI, MAID, you will have absolute access to your homeschool sports, your theater, your marching band. We have our own graduation. We have our own dances, but you can attend the other dances as well. We hear a lot of students say, I don't want to lose out on a normal high school experience. Well, this certainly isn't a normal high school experience at UAIS. This is really high school experience on steroids because of everything that's incorporated. But please know, we want you to have that relationship with your homeschool. At the end of every single day, the buses go back to every feeder school or high school, and you can either get off the bus and play sports or participate in marching band or any other activity, or you can get on a bus that will take you at that point back to your local neighborhood. So that's how afternoon transportation works. In the morning, we have regional stops that you're able to get dropped off at between 6:30 and 6:45 that bus you directly into UAIS. I'd like to circle back for a minute to talk about our creativity, activity, and service program. That's that 150 hours that students have to earn during their junior and senior year. This is another area that students can really set themselves apart by showing how they give back to their communities and that they will be active when they get to a college campus. I'd like to talk about Julie El-Fashawi, who graduated last year in 2020. She is now at University of Pennsylvania, an Ivy League school, doing pre-med. As she worked through UCS, she realized that there weren't a lot of ways for her to learn about the different occupations that were in healthcare. So what she did during her junior year over midwinter break is she contacted all the different types of occupations, doctors, PAs, dentists, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, and had them come in to put on a week-long seminar for upper elementary and junior high students to talk about what they do, how do they get there, their schooling, and all that. So you can imagine when you pair what Julie did for that, plus how she has performed with our HOSA group, which is an award-winning, state-recognized group here at UAIS. That's the health professionals competition that students can enroll in for all 4 years. That really did set her apart. So we're very proud of Julie, and those are the types of activities that CAS offers. So let's talk about students that succeed in the UAIS program. They are ones that enjoy a highly collaborative environment, learning from not just the teachers, but also their fellow students, that they want to incorporate international curriculum and awareness into their high school studies, that they want to study a high level of pre-university work and university work across all subjects, not just certain ones that you might find in an AP program, that you want to engage in advanced critical thinking and problem solving that you can carry on beyond our 4 years here at UAIS, and then also value character education and service learning through our learner profile, honor code, and our service learning opportunities through CAS, and that you really are interested in a focused college and scholarship training that will last 4 years. So if you're torn about which maybe program or high school that you should be attending, please try to gather as much information tonight from our documents, from our virtual visits to classrooms, and our club fair. Meet the students and ask the teachers questions. You can do that through the chat feature tonight. don't listen to your friends, okay? That's one thing that tends to derail applications. Our kids don't want to necessarily go to a program because maybe their friends don't want to go to the program. You have to choose the program that is academically correct for you. I always say we don't make academic decisions based on social aspects or ideas. So something to think about. Also, the day the application opens, which is Friday, February 5th from 8:30 to 9:30, I'm going to have an open forum, and I will send you the link if you email me, and it's going to go from 8:30 to 9:30. Maybe there are some things that we just need to actually interact in that isn't just a chat box, and you have some real questions about the program, and I'll just kind of talk about what we do here on a more personal level. So if you would like to attend the Coffee with the Coordinator in a virtual format, I usually do it in person. It's going to be Friday, February 5th from 8:30 to 9:30. And if you are looking at other programs, this allows you to see all the other secondary specialty programs before attending this event. So how to apply? The window will be open from February 5th through February 12th. Please check the exact times on the UCS website. It's going to be plastered on UCS social media, home pages. It'll probably be coming out from your junior high principals as well. The in-person examinations are going to be either March 13th or March 20th. There are 2 sessions that run each of those days. When you apply, you will be able to pick your date and time on the application. I would recommend doing that early because once the session fills up, you might get bumped to another session. So please apply early, all right? The notification of acceptance will be April 2nd before spring break. And here is the pro tip, because everybody always asks, what do I need to study for to pass the entrance exams? Please go to uais.uticak12.org. Go to the tab, How Do I? Go to the next tab, Enroll at UAIS, and there will be a heading on that page that's called Entrance Testing, and there will be links to the PSAT Math Overview, the Socratic Circle Rubric, and the 6 Traits of Writing Rubric. And all of those will show what we are looking to get out of the kids when they come. There are no secrets here. We want everybody to perform well, but please go there. And again, all applicants must have Algebra 1 completed by the end of 8th grade. This is our UAIS contact information. You can see our school website. I would ask you to please read our frequently asked question documents. It's quite comprehensive and it explains a lot about the program. You can certainly email me at christopher.layson@uticak12.org. I'm getting a lot of emails right now, so I would recommend probably giving me a call here at the office. That phone number is 586-797-3250. That's 586-797-3250. And if you have questions about maybe college aspects or anything like that, I would certainly ask you to reach out to Sue Fitzsimonds, and that is her email as well. Unfortunately, shadowing is currently on hold. If we do come back full face-to-face, that is something we certainly want to offer students, even if it's as late as May and June. I'll leave you with this. This is one of the quotes that we sort of live by here, is that the end of education is character. We're not just here to get into college. We're not just here to learn a subject or two. We are really looking at a character conscious education. So I'll leave you with that. Enjoy the rest of the tour. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Please go to the description for links to other items tonight. Have a good night. Thank you.
Good evening, families. Welcome to UAIS Information Night. My name is Sue Fitzsimonds. I'm one of the counselors here at UAIS. And I'd like to talk to you tonight a little bit about how choosing the IB curriculum at UAIS is helpful for students when it comes time to apply to college. The IB program is known and recognized by universities as having a well-balanced curriculum. Often, applications of IB program students are considered separately because of the reputation of the curriculum. It speaks for itself. On this slide, you can see that we not only focus on the hard skills of learning materials provided in a rigorous curriculum, as you can see in the blue highlighted boxes, but we also focus on soft skills, as you can see in the green highlighted boxes, like international mindedness, compassion, and the overall emotional well-being of our students. In addition to our core curriculum, all of our students will also take these 3 additional pieces: theory of knowledge, the extended essay, and they will all complete a CAS project. Theory of Knowledge is a class that focuses on allowing students to discover how they obtain knowledge, why they think what they think, and how this impacts what they know. So it's a very cool class. I love hearing the things that students share coming out of Theory of Knowledge. In addition, the extended essay is a research project, a 4,000-word essay, and it can be in any area. Some students will choose math and sciences, and some students will choose arts and world language. These extended essays have helped students apply to highly selective colleges because many of them have used their extended essays as supplements to their college applications. Some students have continued their research of the extended essay as they go on to college. And we've even had students publish the research that they have done in high school in their extended essay. We've had students choose fabulous topics. They're always ever incredibly impressive. Finally, they have the creativity, activity, and service portion, which we call CAS. And this is really important because it teaches students the necessity to include balance and not only focus on their academics and their grades, but also focus on how can they give back to their community? How can they continue to keep their bodies and their minds active with other things in addition to just. Over the next few slides, we're going to be talking about 10 reasons the IB diploma is ideal prep for colleges and universities. I won't be going over each and every bullet point in details, so I would encourage you and your family, hang on to this PowerPoint and use it as a reference moving forward to determine if UAIS and the IB Diploma Program is the right fit for you. So as we go through, it says it increases academic opportunity. This is because at UAIS, our students take 8 classes per semester as opposed to the home schools where they take 6 classes per semester. Secondly, IB students care about more than just results. Well, this is something that we believe very strongly in at UAIS, that learning is a journey, and we focus more on the journey and the process of learning as opposed to the grade at the end of the day. This allows students to feel free to take risks in their learning, that they don't have to be perfect all the time, that they can make mistakes and then have time to learn from those mistakes in order to move forward and enjoy the process of learning along the way. This slide, I believe, shares a little bit about how the IB program differentiates itself from the AP program. And so just sharing or looking at the last 3 bullets on this slide, it says it assesses more than examination techniques. And so other than we do have an exam at the very end of the program senior year, but that's not the only thing that comprises a student's overall grade. They will also have oral conversations, written assessments, and other assessments that take place along the way. So it's more of a learning portfolio as opposed to a single exam. Next, the subjects are not taught in isolation. Rather, in junior and senior year, as opposed to having 1, 2, or 3 specific classes that may be the case with AP, our students will have 7 to 8 IB classes. And so they all work collectively with one another and time the assessments and whatnot so that students can learn all the integration of each and every class. This is one of my favorite slides as the counselor here because it shows how much I get to see the growth in students over time. When they come to us as freshmen and then leaving as a senior, students learn leadership, They learn communication skills, they learn public speaking, and even if these are not strong skills at first, they learn little by little so that when they leave here, they can take their leadership abilities and become leaders at their colleges and universities. And colleges know that UAIS and IB in general has a reputation of turning out students who love to join groups and to be leaders and run the groups. And so this is another reason why they love having our students on their campuses. The IB learner profile is another area that sets IB students apart because we focus on their ability to communicate, their open-mindedness, and helping them to stay balanced. This is something that is very important to IB curriculum. When students come to us, some are strong in certain profile traits, and others have weaknesses in profile traits, and we allow them to take the time and reflect on the traits that they're good at and the areas that they need to fine-tune along the way. Research shows IB students are more likely than their peers to complete their undergraduate degree and then pursue graduate work. And they're more likely to be engaged in various aspects of university life. Colleges love this because it assures them that our students are going to not only stay after their first year, but they are most likely to graduate from that university and then pursue graduate work. And all along the way, our students are more likely to be involved in a research program, to seek out internships, to find leadership opportunities, to tutor and help other students, and find ways to give back to the community. This survey conducted by International Insight Research Group found that IB students are accepted into Ivy League universities at an 18% higher rate than the total population. And the gap is even higher in highly selective or top-ranked universities as opposed to Ivy Leagues. Outside of the Ivy Leagues, it says it's 22% higher. Speaking personally from UAIS, our acceptance rate into colleges like University of Michigan is close to 50% or higher, as opposed to the general population, which is often less than 25%, depending on the number of applications each year. This is one of the most important slides because it highlights how this curriculum is even more important than ever before in today's changing world. In the world of college applications changing due to COVID-19. So the fact that standardized testing is becoming optional in some colleges. Highly selective schools have dropped the essay portion often of the SAT in addition to subject area testing of the SAT. Transcripts are looking very different because some schools are giving grades and some schools are giving credit. Curriculum has had to change in some schools. But there is something to be said about the predictability of what has been IB over time. The predictability of the curriculum and the trust that colleges and universities have in the rigor of the UAIS and IB curriculum. And so I know that our students who are applying to college, even if their transcripts may not include test scores, or they didn't have that opportunity, or there's some semesters that just say credit, no credit, the fact that they chose this curriculum speaks that they are high achieving, motivated students, right, who have a desire to learn and grow. Finally, there's some quotes from admissions officers at various universities. This first one is from Harvard, just sharing how they feel about IB students. Just reiterating the fact that this is great preparation down the road for students. This next one is from Duke. I like that it says well-established, well-known, well-respected, and that continues moving forward as it only becomes more and more widely accepted and known. This one's from Oakland University, and I love that this one talks about how our students care more about more than just test scores, as I mentioned earlier, but that they're deep thinkers. And so with all of this being said, if you have any further questions about college and the process and how IB can help students prepare for college, please feel free to reach out to me. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the fall. Thank you.